Hello, welcome to my side of the mountain. I'm going to show you how to crochet a towel topper that you can sew to an adorable towel and embellish to your heart's content. So this is how the little towel topper will look before you sew it onto the towel. All right, this is the front, the very front. This is the back. Okay, you can tell by those stitches. That's the front. Let's get started. Let's tie a slip knot and chain 14. Okay, we have 14 on the hook. That's the first chain on the hook. We will single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and in each chain across, that will give us 13 single crochets. Okay, we're coming to the end. That's the last one. Okay. Now we will chain one and turn. Okay, we have the first row, 13 single crochets and a chain one. Let's turn. All right, we will single crochet in the first stitch and in the next 5 stitches for a total of 6 single crochets. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, let's take a minute and count to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so the next stitch, we will put 2 single crochets in this next stitch. 1, and then 1 more. That's 2 in the same stitch. All right, now we will single crochet in the next 6 stitches. Okay, chain 1. Look at the curve. We're making the beginning of a curve with that chain 2. And so there's 6 single crochets on either side of that 2 chains and that 2 single crochets in the 1 stitch. So let's chain 1 and turn, and we will be doing the same thing. Single crochet in the first stitch and in the next 5 stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we will be putting 2 single crochets in the next 3, so there's 6 there. All right, 2 in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now we're increasing the curve, aren't we? So that's making a nice curve. All right, now we need to execute a single crochet in the remaining 5 stitches. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a little project, but counting is very essential. All right, chain 1, turn. We're going to execute a single crochet in the next 8 stitches. The first stitch and the next 7 stitches will be a single crochet. There we go. Let's count. 1, that's the first stitch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's what we need. We need 8 single crochets. Now we're going to execute 3 double crochets in this peak stitch. This is the peak of the little towel topper. So there's 3 double crochets. Now we will need to execute, yep, there they are, execute a single crochet in the last 8 stitches. we go. All right, let's count. This little project has messed me up a few times. I really do take time to count on this project. All right, now we drop the white and we're pulling up the contrast. We're at the mini bean stitch. That's exciting. Chain 2 and turn. Let's tighten down that little white that we dropped. Okay, we're going to execute a mini bean stitch in the first stitch, and it's insert hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert hook, pull up a loop. You have 4 loops on your hook, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 4, and a chain 1. All right, let's do that. Let's skip a stitch and do that again in the next stitch. Skip that, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 4, chain 1. Let's continue that mini bean stitch. There will be 4 mini bean stitches before we get to the double crochet stitches. Now, each of those double crochet stitches will have its own mini bean stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll skip a stitch and execute a mini bean stitch in that double crochet. All right, a mini bean stitch, insert hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert hook, pull up a loop, pull through all 4, chain 1. Let's do that in the next stitch. I love the mini bean stitch. So these 3 stitches, these 3 peak stitches, do not have a stitch in between them. All right, now we're going to skip that stitch and continue the way we did the first part of the towel topper. We'll execute the mini bean stitch in that stitch. We'll skip 1 stitch, chain 1, skip a stitch, mini bean, skip a stitch, mini bean, skip a stitch in the last one. Woohoo! All right, now we get to do a second row of mini bean stitches. Now it's important, chain 2, where you insert your hook. Do not insert your hook under that chain 1 space, but right there, that big hole right there. That's where you will insert your hook, right there. Not under that chain. Nope, no, not in that chain, but in the large hole. Okay, let's get started. Let's do a mini bean. There we go. Chain 1. I love how this stitch has a left and a right tilt. If you find your stitching does not have a left and a right tilt, you probably did not execute your stitches in that large hole. So it will, and the more rows you do, it's just so beautiful how they interlock and lean on each other. The more rows you do, it's you will see a marked lean to the right and lean to the left. It's just such a nice stitch. Has texture. And I think it looks like little lemons. That's why I'm calling this my lemon table, Lemon Farmhouse table decor. All right, we're at the last mini bean stitch. Okay, we're gonna have to drop. That looks cute. Yeah, we're gonna have to drop the white and drop the yellow and pull up the white. Now we didn't cut the white, so the white is still attached. All we have to do is grab it, pull it up, there you go, and then work it in. This is the last row. This is what I call a ripple stitch. It's super simple. You execute a slip stitch in the first stitch right there, slip stitch, chain 1, slip stitch in the next stitch, which is a chain 1. All right, yarn, pull through, that's a slip stitch, chain 1, insert hook, pull through the loop on the hook, so chain 1 and slip stitch all the way across, and that chain 1 just kind of bunches up and makes a little bit of a ripple. I really do like this edging. I use it on a lot of my designs. I use it on my baskets, although the Lemon Farmhouse basket in this series of patterns has a crab stitch. All right, we're at the last one. Hey, we are finished. we have a great looking little towel topper that can be sewn onto a towel, and then it feeds through this little towel topper and just makes a beautiful, beautiful little bit of crochet for your kitchen that will match your Lemon Farmhouse table decor. If you would like to know how to sew the towel topper onto the adorable towels, just stay tuned. Here you have your towel topper. Choose your towel that you would like, and then find the corner that has the tag. There you go. And you're going to mark 4 inches down on either side of that corner. Measure 4 inches and then place a pin at the 4-inch mark on both sides. There you go. Now we're ready. Now you place the towel topper under the pin where the pin is marked. And it takes 2 pins, at least takes 2 of my sized pins to hold it in place. You might need 3 if you have shorter pins. Let's get that done. There we go. Now you have the opening that the towel feeds through when you wrap it around the oven handle or whatever you choose. Now let's sew this into place. I like to use a double thread with a knot at the end, and those little thread tails, I just tuck those in. There you go. And then just sew it into place. I really do enjoy using sewing thread to sew a crocheted item in place. The thread just buries itself in the yarn. You can't see if you have made mistakes in your stitching or if your stitching is ugly. You don't have to be perfect at this. It's a very forgiving thing, and you can just really go back and forth and make sure that that towel edge, the edges of the yarn and the towel edge is securely on the edge of the towel. It's a fun treatment, and it's quick. It doesn't take very long to do. There we go. And we're at the end. Just tie it off. There we go. We're done with that. Now I'll show you how to wrap the towel. Isn't that cute? The first step you'll do is you'll tuck, see the opening? You'll tuck the corner back down in on itself into the opening. All right. And I'll show you how to wrap it into a pointy package to feed it through that opening. This one's already fed. Remove that lemon, and then I'll unwrap it so that you can see how to do this. All right, here we go. Let's tuck that top in and turn your towel over. There you go. Now you have a high point. There's the towel topper on that one corner. You have a high point right there, and you have a low point right there. Okay, so these points are going to be rolled to the center. Start with a high point. Now you can only roll so far in one direction. Right at the edge of the towel topper is where you stop, but you need to roll more, so you just drop down the side and just roll enough so that it comes to that point at the bottom. There's the bottom point. You roll it to the bottom point. Now you take the high corner, there's the top of the towel topper up there. You take the high corner and you start rolling it toward the center, just as you did the high corner. So that's the low corner. Was I calling that the high corner? I apologize. So the low corner and the high corner have been rolled, and the towel topper is still in place. All right, so there's our pointy package. There it's all pointy and rolled. You take the towel topper, bring it down so that you can see the opening, and then you feed the point through the towel topper. There we go, feeding it through. Now let's imagine that the scissors are an oven handle, So imagine that. See, wrapping it right around that oven handle, towel handle, drawer pull in the kitchen. And then you can embellish these towel toppers. They are so cute. Such a unique design. I'm glad I stumbled onto this. I plan on having more of these. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you have enjoyed the Lemon Farmhouse series of patterns that were created and gifted during launch 2 of the summer celebration. And it was good to have you on my side of the mountain.